What is up, my gamers? Got another absolute banger of a grind that I'm just about to get into. So, here's the shakedown, right? I think last time I played this was maybe 10, 11 days ago, 12 days ago. Even I'm not too sure, honestly. But we're only about halfway there of the grind, which, honestly, it's good and it's not good, I feel like. Say we're only halfway there, it's sort of like, ooh, you feel me?
Hey, guess what? We're in the big crew versus crew race. Spec out your ride and prepare for
But,
action.
But what about you? The cops still got your car.
Don't worry, I'll find some wheels. See you there.
yeah. Alright, so, yeah, we've just been grinding the Resourts circuit. This isn't the total. Okay, I've got a cheeky story time to get into this one. So, let me run you through the story time. This just happened today at school. So, the story time is I had a semi-normal day, had double science, double maths, double food tech classes today. So it's one of the more like sort of icky days of my week. But all in all, I got through it clearly. But I don't just want to talk to you about my timetable. What I actually want to talk about is that double food tech, because it was actually a double food tech assessment task, which was, if anyone's done food tech, it was like a practical assessment. So I had to make food and present it, to say it shortly. Now, it's not about the actual assessment task that I want to talk about. It's what happened during the assessment task. So I was ready, I was making my stuff, and then what happened was I was cutting up some dried apricots and some dates, right, to get ready to make my food. And I noticed my board shifted slightly, like slightly just away from the center of my workspace. So I put my knife down and I wanted to shift it back, just so, I don't know, it'd be easy to cut. Maybe it's OCD, so I don't know. But I felt like it'd just be better if I just moved it back, even though I could have continued with it the way it was. So what I did was I moved it back, I put my knife down, and as I was moving it back, I put it right next to my knife. I like just barely grazed the corner, like not the corner, but like the edge of the knife with one of my fingers. So I cut myself basically in the most stupid way possible. Mind you, I'm not like stupid or anything. Like, this was the first time I'd ever cut myself in food tech. And I'm in year 10, so technically it's like the third year of me doing it. Third year, because you got for me at least, I have the like random electives in year 8, year 7, year 8, and one of them was food tech. Actually, that was only a semester, so let's just even say 2.5 years. But yeah, so I cut myself, which sort of sucked, because I don't want to say it was a gusher, I'm not going to go into details. But yeah, I just wouldn't stop bleeding. It wasn't like the worst cut I've ever seen in my life, but yeah, man, like I was sort of taken aback by how much it was bleeding, just because I like just sort of grazed it. But yeah, so that happened. So then, guess what? I could not keep on doing my practical. So that sort of sucked, to tell you the truth. Well, because I was so ready to just go and get in there, get my assessment done, and call it a day, you know? Whether I did good or bad, it'd be over with, you know? And I thought I was going to do pretty good. I get to retake it, so not all is lost. I get to retake it in exactly 1 week. So that means by the um Need for Speed Heat stream. The next time you see the stream, I will have done my food tech prac. Maybe I'll remember to tell you guys how I did. Maybe I won't. But yes, that happened. But get this, the story is not done, so I get to continue it, and that's all good. But I've spoken this before, but today is the day when I play basketball, because that's why these streams are generally shorter, because I need to, you know, either get myself ready or, yeah, I just gotta get going and play basketball. Now, I've spoken on this before that my team is buns. We're short on people, so, yeah, anyway. It is the end of winter comp, today. For our team anyway, we didn't get into semis or finals. So yeah, they'd serve those, but yeah, this is the last, like, just normal game. So, yeah, there's that. But, I low-key don't want to play basketball. Just today is what I'm saying, just because of my finger. Like, obviously, you guys don't know how bad it is. Like, to what degree of bad it is. It's, like, I'm not gonna sit here and say, yeah, it's the worst cut I've ever gotten, or it's even a bad cut. But, it's just that, I feel like with this one in particular as well, because when I was in food tech, it took maybe 10 minutes of straight pressure to stop, like 10-15 minutes of me sitting there to stop the pressure, or something like that, because it would not stop bleeding. So I feel like if I play basketball, there's honestly a pretty good chance it could just stop bleeding again, even through a band-aid, because what I noticed was whilst I was holding the paper in my hand to just stop the bleeding, it was like just straight up seeping through the paper, because of how bad it was. So yes, obviously I have a band-aid on, so that could probably stop the bleeding. I've got one on right now, but I guess that's point one. Point two is that my second point of why I don't, not that I don't want to, it's just that, like, I just don't think it's what's best. Also because I just hate playing with band-aids on and stuff like that. Like, I swear, it just ruins, like, it just sort of ruins my shot. I know that sounds sort of stupid, because, like, I haven't got the best shot percentage, but, like, I'm just saying that, yeah, I mean, I don't think I can really make a point out of that, other than just saying what I've already said. But, I hope that makes sense. Like, that's not a reason why I won't want to play, just because I can't make a shot. That's just, like, it's just annoying to me, you know? Now, my third point, actually. Now, this is where it gets a bit more, psychological, again. So I know we've talked, or at least I've talked about, like, me playing my basketball games. It was bad for a good chunk of time, then it got better for maybe a month and a half, like, maybe over a month, and I hate to say it, guys, it's gone worse again. It has actually gotten worse, and I don't know why. I don't know why, and through me talking about this, it could probably go for the next half an hour. Depends how deep I want to go, like, yeah, it depends how deep I want to go with this. So, here's what I've done. I spoke on this once before, but I'll just give a nice little recap. When I started playing basketball, 0 anxiety. Then all of a sudden, I vomited because of the smell, because of, like, the sweaty smell in, like, at the basketball courts once. And then my brain must have just been like, oh no, we vomited. Let's just shut down. Let's just do that to save ourselves from vomiting or whatever. So that made it a million times worse, because then I just kept on getting anxiety until, like, I just physically, like, ran into wherever the basketball was happening. but the drive up and the walking into the center, awful. High chest, high breathing, tight elevated chest. You know, breathing. It felt like my mind is just racing at 100,000 kilometers per hour. You know. And here's the deal: if you felt nervous, you felt anxiety or something like that, you'd know the exact feeling of what I'm talking about. So yeah, it sucked because I'd have to go through that once a week. And don't get me wrong, I loved playing the basketball in the center, which is the only reason why I was still going to basketball. And I'm actually playing summer comp as well, so good luck to me, I guess. But yeah, so that's annoying. Yeah, so what I want to touch on, because I know the last time I streamed, which legitimately was only not even that long ago, on this, I was talking about how I prayed to God and then it got better, you know? And that was true. But it just got worse again. Don't know what it was. I feel like I'm still quite well spiritually connected, like I haven't drifted away from God or anything. So yeah, I'm not honestly too sure about that. If anyone wants to let me know, like maybe say, yeah, maybe it could have been a result of this, of why I feel like I'm feeling stressed again. But yeah, so the first time it actually happened, I threw up again, not even just anxiety, I threw up from the anxiety. So what happened was, like I was saying with our Saints Cup basketball games, which is like, yeah, it's just what's called at school, the lunchtime ones. I was sitting there in one of my electives. It was the other elective I have. It's basically creative arts, right? So yeah, I was sitting in that class, and I feel like so far it's been, no matter what, those like 10, 15 minutes before I have to ask the teacher to leave early to get into the game is pure horror. It is pure horror, because I'll be sitting there and I'm just thinking, oh no, I'm gonna have to go up to the teacher and say, can I leave early to go to this place that gives me anxiety? You know? So what happened was, I was sitting in that class. I was with a friend that also plays with me. I was sitting in that class, and I think I might have known what the trigger to the throwing up was. This is gonna sound stupid, but he had a Kit Kat bar. I think he broke off half and gave it to someone. Maybe broke that half again and gave it to me, like split the remaining half he had. So I think he gave me like a quarter Kit Kat bar or something like that, which is cool. Like I love chocolate, love Kit Kat bars. So I didn't think much of it. I was like, yes, sure, sweet, cheers. So yeah, I ate that, and then we were sitting there a couple minutes before we were gonna say, yeah, let's just leave class early to go warm up and such. And I was feeling sick, like, and I'd prayed as well. I'd said, God, take this anxiety away from me, please, please, please. Yeah, I prayed like a little bit before, obviously would have been before I ate the Kit Kat. So it's probably like 15, 20 minutes out from when we even would have left, right? So I was, so I prayed. And you know, guess what? Ate the Kit Kat, and I think, yeah, whenever I eat something, it just makes the whole feeling of anxiety so much worse, which is why I have a thing where I don't eat, like, at all in the afternoon when I play basketball. Just drink water. I try not to eat a thing, which isn't good for my energy levels, let me tell you. It's hard running up and down the court with no food eaten in the past, like 5 or so hours. Bro, I feel jealous. Most people that can like down something huge, like, yeah, sure, they feel a bit bloated, but then they can just go play. But so yeah, it was like super annoying, because I remember I was sitting down in my chair, feeling horrific, right? And I remember I had to put a glue stick away. So I grabbed the glue stick, and I was like, I didn't even think I was gonna throw up. I was just like, yeah, I'm just cooked. I didn't even think I was gonna throw up, but I put the glue stick away, And I'm not the type of guy to do this. I put the glue stick away. I was going to walk back to my bag, grab it, but I just couldn't. I ran out of the classroom, went straight down to the bathroom, which wasn't too far away, which was good. It's just like below the classroom, basically. But yeah, I went down there and I went into a bathroom stall and I threw up, which was like, yeah, it sucked. But and there was someone in there as well, and he would like he was in the year ahead of me, and he just would hear someone going and like all of that, because it was straight water basically, because I was drinking so much water. So it was basically just straight water coming out of me. It was like I walked out there and just looked at each other, not really, like just looked at him, just like yeah. He sort of looked at me with a face of not really, oh you good, but just more so, stay away from me, you know. But so yeah, that was annoying. But thankfully, I had another friend like grab my bag, bring it down to the stairs, and I could just grab my bag and leave to Sands Cop to the basketball. Sorry. And yeah, the thing is though, I was just able to walk in there and I just started playing. I started warming up, even. So yeah, that was the first time it came back. And then, so that would have been that was a Tuesday, right? Not this Tuesday, last Tuesday. This is almost a week ago, right? This was 8 days ago, right? Then a week ago today, because I have basketball every Wednesday, so a week ago, I had a game of basketball at the same time. It's an 8:25 p.m. game. That's the same time as the game today. Had that game, and I was just again feeling the tightness of my chest, the elevated breathing, it's just not a good place to be. And anyone who's had it, I'm sure, like a lot of people who would watch this have felt that. And it's just not a good place to be in. Like, yeah, thankfully, the second I walk in there and I regulate my breathing, deep breaths, I can just get in there and it's chill for the most part, you know. But yeah, again, so with what my praying was doing for me before was it was getting rid of that element of anxiety before my games, right? So I was enjoying it a lot more because I didn't have to dread going through that just to play a game of basketball. But yeah, so it is back now. Even just, this is gonna sound so dumb, but I'm sometimes sitting there in class, like now again because it's sort of come back, but not really before when it was gone. My anxiety was gone, but yeah, I was sitting there in maths class today, literally middle session of maths class today. So before I cut my finger, before any of that, before lunch, I was sitting there and I was feeling a bit of anxiety. It's nothing near to the anxiety that I was feeling, like that I feel before my basketball games or anything. It was just sort of like I just had to sort of re-ground myself just a bit. It's nothing where I was thrown up or anything. I think it was mainly because I knew I had to do my food tick assessment, so that gave me some anxiety. But that always gives me anxiety, like even before I play basketball, probably. So I mean, yeah, maybe nervousness is the better answer for that. But yeah, I was just nervous. I'd say that. So I don't want to abuse the word anxiety, you know. But yeah. So I was feeling nervous for that. Cut my finger. I didn't get to do it. I was feeling pretty good about it as well, because that's the thing with all my anxiety and my nervousness. I feel so scared about it, and then the second I get in there, it's fine. And my brain just can't comprehend that. Apparently, my brain says to me, it's like, Elliot, we're gonna crash and burn and die and this and that. I get in there after strain, and then I'm like, yeah, this is fine. I'm a smart cookie, clearly. But so yeah, that was just that was sort of annoying to go through that nervousness. But yeah. So I've been feeling the nervousness slightly more than what I've been feeling in the past. So yeah, I mean, I'm definitely not saying that praying doesn't work, because hey, it does. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna keep on praying. Because if there's one thing I want you to leave with today, God will never forsake you, nor leave you. He's still by my side. And I know that for a fact. Bet my life on that one. But, so yeah, so on top of the fact that I cut, like, it's not a bad cut, that didn't go deep, it's just a skin level cut, but the fact that I cut my finger and I've been feeling this anxiety resurfacing, I just didn't want to really play basketball today. But I don't know, maybe I should. Obviously could if I wanted to. But I don't know, I'm not feeling the best about it, to be honest. And I've got a friend who was messaging me just earlier, just before I hopped on stream, and it's like, oh, no way you don't show up to basketball. He's basically saying that.
Hey,
And I was
thought
like,
you'd see
oh,
me
but
kick
I
you in the
cut my
balls, though.
finger. Um, he's like, come on. He would definitely understand that if I said to him, yeah, just be getting anxiety and stuff. Because, yeah, like I said last stream, like my whole team knows sort of about it. Because the first game of this season, like we were standing outside the basketball courts, and that's sort of, I feel like it's my zone of where I just start to freak out. Like my body just has to get into the courts and I'm fine. So because I was standing out there for so long, I just had to throw up into a bin. So that sucked. They're like, oh yeah, Elliot, you good, man? Cause, I mean, I don't know, because I feel like if I was a viewer, let's say I was viewing myself, um, and I didn't know who I was, so I was just a random viewer like you guys, and I was watching myself talking about this, I'd be thinking, yeah, that's so odd, that could never be me. Like, I never thought I'd be the guy to have something like this where just major levels of anxiety. I absolutely never thought that could have been me. But hey, it's nothing to be ashamed about either. But yeah, I feel like it's an odd situation to be in, because here's a bit of backstory about me. My goodness, if I stream for like a year, you guys are gonna know everything about me. But here we go, a bit of backstory. I am a karate black belt. Right, now I've actually just... Oh, I wasn't trying to hit that. Man, that took away almost away there. So I was saying, I'm a karate black belt. And I think I'm gonna come first for that, because of that. Anyway. Yeah, so I am a karate black belt. Now, I'm not trying to glaze myself or anything. But I have been... Because the grading itself, so the progression to get to like the rank of a black belt is hard. Now, I will be the first to say, it is definitely a lot harder to achieve the rank of black belt in any other, type of, like, form of, martial arts or anything like that. I would say it is harder to grade because it takes longer. Like Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, they do that at my center, and it takes like, I actually don't know how long it takes, but it takes definitely longer than what it takes for someone to get to the black belt type that I got to, if that makes sense, right? But it was still hard nonetheless. Um, but yeah, I would like to think though that I have been in some very stressful situations that have made me nervous, but I just get through them, and that's the type of guy I used to be, you know, because the grading to the black belt is something that takes at least a year of preparation for, right? 'Cause you go learn every single bit of curriculum you've learned in the past like 3-4 years of training, right? And you've got to do that, like show it all on the mat in one day. So that's like all this stuff you got jam pack into your head. Like it's not easy, but I was able to do it, which I think is pretty cool. So I was able to put up with that level of pressure, okay? And I didn't I didn't even feel the level of anxiety I'm feeling like lately, because I'd say now that that's probably been the most like actually meaningful thing I've ever done. Because like whenever I think about the level of anxiety I'm getting, I'm like, it's stupid because of how like how not little this means, but like it's just a basketball game with some friends. Like why am I flipping out over this, you know? And even like saying that now, detaching myself from my actual experiences, it sounds stupid to say that. To say that playing a game of basketball with some friends gives me more anxiety than a grading to black belt. But that's what I'm saying. And it sucks. It does, but I don't know, I've got to figure out a way to get through it. I'm just gonna keep on praying to God, because that's all I can do, really. But yeah. And here's the deal as well. It wasn't just like the one black belt grading. Because I have done two others. I graded to, because when you grade to black belt for the first time for the style that I was doing anyway, Shidokai Karate, you grade to what we call your provisional black belt, which is just a plain black belt. Nothing's on it. It's just what you'd expect. Like if you searched up a black belt, it's just a plain black belt, right? So that's what we call your provisional. Then in 6 months from that big grading, you can grade again, depending on your age, to either a junior first degree or a senior first degree black belt. Right, so I was 14 when I graded. Yeah, I was 14 when I graded to black belt, so I was pretty young, right? I was 14, I believe. I'd have to be, right? Wait, let me think about this for a second. Yeah, I had to have been 14. Yeah, no, I was 14. I was 14, and I'd only just turned 14 as well, I think. Jeez Louise, that was long ago. Well, not too long ago, but yeah, so I graded, and then 6 months later, so it was December. My birthday's in April, so it would have been 5 months of me turning 15. Right, so it is when I graded to my junior first degree. So that was everything I'd learnt. So everything I did on the last black belt grading, plus just a little bit extra, which isn't even like isn't too bad. But the hardest part about it, you see, is like retaining the stuff you learn and actually getting better in those 6 months, and not just slouching and trying to hit a new rank quickly because you can. Right, so you've still got to put in effort, make sure your stuff is still squeaky clean, even better than what you thought you had it being as perfected as the first time you did it, right? So yeah, it was still another level of like, this is a big thing, right? Even though, yes, you've hit the pinnacle of reaching a black belt, it's, again, another moment where I should have been, oh my goodness, this is crazy, ah. But it wasn't. It was just I was for sure nervous. I wake up early, I get a bit of practicing in, go there, more practicing, go do it for like 6 hours. Like these are like okay, I know this is a meme, but these are like 6-7 hour like training, 6, 7, 8 hour gradings, right? So they're not short, like 30 minutes, do your stuff and go home. It's like 8-hour things, and you're not just sitting there for 7 hours and doing anything for 1 hour. You're like pretty well active in it the whole time. So it is a big day, right? And you've got to do it every single time you want to grade. So I got my junior showdown, and you can get your senior showdown belt when you turn 15, right? So I graded to senior showdown last year when I was 15, which was pretty cool, right? And so again, it's another one of those things where it should be I'm getting nervous from this because it's such like a big deal, but again, it's just still not quite comparing to what I had to like face with my anxiety lately. And after that senior showdown grading, which is your first degree black belt, is another way to call it. That's still what I am on today, because I have actually stopped doing karate, because I was doing it for the better part of 6 years. It's maybe 6.5 years I've been doing karate for, and I stopped, not really abruptly, because I took a break the start of this year, but I did want to come back, but then I just stopped again because I wanted to play basketball. But I stopped doing karate because the next grading for me was a Nidan belt, which was 2nd degree black belt, and that is so much effort. That's like double, like the actual effort to put into it is double of what my experience is, basically. So like all of that, like Nidan would be cool as heck. Maybe when I'm older in the future, if they'll let me just come back as a 1st degree, but yeah, so I did actually stop, but the life lessons I learned, I've still got with me for sure. So you may be asking me, Elliot, has this tie into what you've been talking about for the past ever so long? What I've been trying to say is, with all of these experiences and all of these things adding up in my life, I should be able to, not get like scared from just a little basketball game, right? But I can't even explain it. It's just something inside of me. I just can't handle the anxiety from playing basketball. It's unlike anything I've ever experienced before, actually. But I don't know. I think I can overcome it. Maybe. I know. I know for a fact, if I keep on praying to God, He'll be with me. But yeah, it's just one of those crazy things to like actually put into perspective of. Yeah, I've been in these really overwhelming situations, but something as silly as a basketball game can still have such a major effect on me. But it's just a tricky thing to go about. And actually, I was on my way to a basketball game. This was probably a month ago. I was on my way to oh no, it would have been more than a month ago, like 2 months ago even. I was on my way to a basketball game, and I was talking to my mum in the car because she was driving me to my game. And I was just talking to her, I was saying like, yeah, I've just been getting all this nervousness, all this anxiety before my basketball games for practically like no reason, And she was like, yeah, what do you think it could be? Like, I don't know, that's the thing, right? But she said she thought she could put it down to just, she thought she could put it down to like, I strive for excellence too hard. That makes sense. Like, I put too much pressure on things myself because I want to do good, which is true. Like with everything that I do, I want to do it well, you know, because that's what I feel like God's called me to do, you know. But yeah, I think she said that it was because I take things maybe not too seriously, just yeah. But I've got no clue. It's like an absolute struggle. But hey, we've all got our own struggles though, right? I'm just the only one talking about it on Twitch. Yeah, I mean, to put it this way though, there's like millions of people that are going through much worse things than I am. But I did just want to talk about it today though, because I don't know, maybe I won't be talking about it as much in the future, but I don't know, I feel like that maybe won't happen. I feel like I'll always be a pretty open book, if that makes sense. So these guys are cooking me. My goodness. But, and that's the thing, like, sometimes, briefly, I think to myself, I'm like, should I maybe not be as open? Should I do this, do that? Like, should I keep more things to myself? Should I be less open? But I feel like if you want someone to trust, then you've got to be open with them. Like, how would you guys know to trust me if I wasn't being honest about myself at all? But I'm not even saying that you guys need to trust me or anything, because I'm telling you all this about myself, so you need to tell all that about yourself now. Yeah, just sometimes little things I think to myself about. Same way I'm thinking about how good it is going to be when I get that Ferrari car. Because my goodness, golly gumdrops, I've been waiting a pretty minute. And guess what? Still got more time to wait, unfortunately. Still have got more time to wait. And something else, right, that is just this like sort of just confirms that's just in my head, somewhere in my brain, something's tripping up, because I'm streaming right now, I'm streaming right now, and if I was going to go play basketball, obviously, yeah, it would have been like hot early, because I gotta go get ready and stuff. But I would have been thinking in the back of my mind, shoot, I have to play basketball. Like, I'd be looking at the clock, and off stream, I'd get myself ready, and I'd just be going, ooh. Just because, you know, I just can't do it. And right now, because I know I don't have to play, I'm vibing. That's what I'm doing. I'm absolutely vibing. Like, I can sort of take a sigh of relief, you know, and that's, yeah, that seems to be something that happens a lot, because like I was saying, like 20 minutes earlier, I was sitting in class, I knew I had to go play basketball, I wasn't feeling like I wanted to play basketball, right, and if I think in my head, okay, we're just not going to play basketball, hear that? Hear that click? It's like everything just resets, and I'm normal again. Like, if I think to myself, yeah, it's okay, you know, we're not going to play basketball if it's making me upset, then I just feel fine. It's like, not even gonna lie, it's almost instant. right? If I'm nervous and I think, yeah, we're just not gonna play, instantly better, which is just so annoying. It's almost like I'm tired of it now. But like in my head right now, I just can't control it. Like I can't control it. I can't. So I wish it was as simple as my current brain just saying, just be cool, you know? It's just not that simple. I find it so silly how the brain can say stuff like, don't do this, but then you got other parts of your brain that just do it on auto command. So it's kind of like the brain is upset at itself. And you would be very right that the brain is upset with itself. Because the brain is not doing what the brain actually wants to be doing. We're just glitching out, bruh. Which is quite annoying. We are just absolutely glitching out. Anyway. I did like though Have going on that little rant about my little karate. But the thing is though, I feel like I will miss it for sure, which is the reason why I came back the first time after taking my break. But I think I'm finally content with my leaving. And okay, this is like a little quick anecdote. I feel so bad because what happened was, let me give you a little chronological timeline of karate. So 10 years ago, like 10, 12 years ago, my two older brothers started karate. They were just cute little belts, right? And then I started karate for only like half a year or so, because then I ended up in a wheelchair. And then they stopped doing karate after. I don't know how much after. But then, after many years, I decided to come back. So that was in year 4, so what's that, 10 years old? I was somewhere around the age of 10 years old where I was like, so I was fresh out of the wheelchair. I was like, yeah, let's give karate a go. Heck yeah. That would be pretty fun. So I started doing karate again I started doing it for a year by myself. And then after a year of doing it by myself, Reese came back, which is one of my older brothers. And then my eldest brother, he came back. So then 3 of us were all doing karate together. But then my eldest brother, he sort of swayed from doing karate and he started doing BJJ more, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, which is done at the same center, so it was fine, because we literally have instructors that like overlap teaching BJJ and karate, right? So that was cool. He even made a grading, which took him a good number of months, because the gradings are much different from karate gradings to BJJ gradings, right? So he did that and he really enjoyed it. Then he first stopped. He stopped 2022, 2021. I don't know the exact year if I looked at my phone, but let's just say, I actually feel like it was 2022. Right, so that was like 3 years ago. Alright, so let's say he stopped 3 years ago. Does that make sense in my brain? So I'm kind of feeling more compelled to 2021. I don't know, it doesn't really matter. So he stopped either in 21 or 22. So that's alright. I mean, he was gone, but it was fine. I still had one brother I was still doing it with, which was my older brother. Me and him did it. Well, not really neck and neck to say, but we were pretty close in belt rank. We were just one belt rank away from each other, so it was pretty close. And yeah, he graded to black belt before me, and the way that works, because I know I said I started doing karate they started doing karate after me, it was because they graded to basically the very, very kids version of a black belt, which means that they then get to be a blue belt of the adults, like, belts. Because, like, when you grade up, you sort of grade down. Sort of like, sort of what it equals out to, I guess. The kids black belt equals an adult's blue belt. But yeah, so since they both did make it um, to the kids black belt, then they stopped, and I didn't, because I'd only been doing it for a couple months. I had to start on a white belt, and my two older brothers got to both start on blue belts, which was a bit upsetting, because I've been doing it for a year, and they were already ahead of me, like, willy-nilly, you know? But, it was okay, because I think I was the belt below my eldest brother when he got his blue belt, so it was pretty cool. So you know, I was never too far off either of them, to be honest with you. I don't know if we came first or second. I think we actually came second. I think we came second by a hair. Oh, wait, was it close though? Chat, let's look at this. Okay, it was off by a second. Never mind. Yeah, so what was I saying? Yeah, so they got to get a bit of a jump start, if that makes sense, because they're lower black belt kids achievement. Right, so yeah, Eden stopped. Eldest brother Eden, he stopped. Then, yeah, it was just me and my other brother, and we both made to the adult black belt. My eldest brother didn't, 'cause he stopped too early. So we both made to black belt. That was cool. And then, he got it earlier than me because he was a couple belts ahead of me, because both my two older brothers didn't start at the exact same time. It was like maybe a couple months difference between them. So yeah, that happened. I actually failed my pre-testing, and that's basically the test before your black belt grading to see if you've actually got the knowledge required for the grading and all that stuff, basically. So honestly, the pre-testing was just as nerve-wracking as the grading. You know, actually, no, scrap that. Pre-testing was more nerve-wracking than the grading, because they say this, the only, like, everyone says this, and it's true, the only way you could fail a grading, because they, like, order your belting, get your certificate, the only way you fail that is with a bad attitude. And people have literally not passed the grading from a bad attitude. Alright, so, yeah, so that's why the pre-testing was low-key more nerve-wracking, because, my goodness, that was not appreciated. So yeah, the pre-testing was more nerve-wracking. Like I don't even know how to describe it. The mini exam that lets you into the ultra exam, I guess, is the closest way I can get it. But yes, that was more nerve-wracking. So if you passed that, you knew you were good. Right, so I'd low-key been working my butt off. I got to a pre-testing and I failed it. And that was heartbreaking. I cried after not failing that one. I absolutely cried after failing that one. So you know what that means for me? Another 6 months before I could pre-test again. Because they only do 2 gradings a year, so that's 2 pre-testings a year. And I'd failed the first pre-testing of the year. But my older brother, he got his pre-testing done, so he got to grade and I didn't, basically, which maybe hurt even more. I wasn't really too worried about that. I was just, guess I was proud of him. I still helped him practice and train. So, yeah, that was, oh wait, sorry. Oh rad, I've got dinner now apparently. Sort of sprung up on me, I didn't know that was happening. Let me get back to the story. I'm just gonna pause this there. Ciao. Alright, gamers. Oh, shit. Forgot we were still in a race. Alright, so, I just had to have dinner and help out with dinner a bit, but, now that's done. What was I saying? I was saying, I don't know. I was just saying that, okay, yes, I was going along with the chronological order of me and my brothers doing karate. So, yeah, so, Reese goes black belt slightly before me, and then we both still been going hard at it until, I want to say November of 2024. We both kind of stopped. We just took a break because Reese just had some complications with being there because he had to work there. He was like being sensei there. Yeah, so he had some complications, so he left, and I was like, yeah, what the heck. Could do with a break after a long 5 years of doing it. Dang it, babe ate me, bro. Well, yeah, he stopped, and then I also stopped, and then I was just missing it, bro. I was just like, man, I've been doing it for 5 years. I'm just missing doing karate. So yeah, I only had like a 2-month break or so, maybe not even that. But I got back into it at the start of 2025. And yeah, like it feels weird going back to karate after not doing it for even just like 2 months. But now it's probably been around 2 months since I've last been at karate, so now we're hitting that same sort of time frame of my biggest break. But my goodness. I think my mum is calling my name out again, and like, sometimes I wonder, what does she really need me for, you know? So I can't pause it during this freaking cutscene. Alright, the second this goes, I will be off and I'll be back in a second. I'll be back. Alright, I'm back. Okay, so, as I was saying, I'm now in my second break, I guess if you want to call it that, of doing karate. And after having this break compared to my last one, there's not the same sort of sense of, I guess, I'm missing it as much. Just because, like I've said, the next step for me in my journey of karate is second degree. Second degree black belt, and I've already hit first degree. So, I don't know, I feel like maybe I should go further, but then again, like another 2 years, Like, that's another 1/3 of my whole journey, just for another. I mean, I know it's not just another golden stripe on my belt, but like another bit of stitching, but at the same time it kind of is. Yeah, I'm pretty proud of how far I've come with my journey, and I think it is finally time to hang the belt up, because I got what I wanted out of it. I think it's just time, because where I was at with my black belt classes and stuff was, I was sort of in a funny spot of, I could start pre-testing to get the need on. So pre-testing is different to the first pre-testing I talked about. With these ones, you don't do it all at once. You do, because there are four components to get need on. And yeah, so 4 components, you can pre-test from 4 different things. You don't have to pass every pre-testing to enter the grading, only like 2 or 3 of them. But yeah, it's a much more rigorous and harder thing than first degree. Don't even get me started on 3rd degree plus, my goodness. Yeah, I've got 2 friends of mine that are 2nd degrees, and honestly, they sort of just look the same as if they were first degrees to me, so yeah. I don't know, it's not like it's finite sorry, not finite. It's not like it's a final decision I'm quitting, but I think it's best for me to quit. But I actually watched this video just yesterday, maybe. It was like stuff, like what happens when you stop doing stuff like working out, like what happens when you stop doing something, or the changes to your body. And I was looking at that because I was thinking, I'd like to think my genetics are pretty good as far as how my body looks, I guess. But because I don't really work out, and I've had some people look at me and say, "Oh yeah, you must go like the gym." And again, this is like zero glaze at all. It doesn't really often happen. This is just like the rare examples. But I'm thinking, yeah, it's probably just because I do karate, because it is like exercise. Because like it's constant moving all the time, whether it be doing this, that, or the other. But yeah, it's constant moving. So I was thinking, is that the only reason why I'm, I guess you could say, in shape without needing to go to the gym? Because like, to be fair, I'd never like, unless for some classes, like one of my classes out of every 4 classes I do a week, that's the only class where I run around and like actively fight someone. With gloves on, of course, because it's if you have never heard of Kumite, 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 go search it up. It's just like sparring with gloves on. It's just karate sparring. So you can watch people do Kumite, and that is sort of just what I do. Obviously it'll look different because that's at a professional level, but sort of what I do. Yeah, so that's like the only class where I'm really running around and that active. And because I'm doing basketball now as well, I feel like that should sort of counteract that, 'cause obviously there's lots of running around in basketball. But, yeah. I don't know. I think it's just like the pros and cons. Like the pros of my karate experience towards the end, like towards the last year and a half, 2 years, no, I'd say 2 years, has definitely been the friends I've had, because I actually went on a trip to Japan to do, it would technically, like to do an international tournament, so a tournament between us Australians and Japanese folk, right? So yeah, I actually found that to be maybe the most fun I've ever had. with karate, probably not only because it was my first time overseas, but I actually just got to spend time with the epic people that are at karate, but outside of karate. Because the thing with karate is because I've got some amazing friends from that trip, but even when we were still doing karate, it was never like we could just not like mess around or anything, but it was, we could never just like I know chillax isn't even the right word either. We couldn't even really hang out, to be honest. It's not, I'm not gonna say it's not a friendly environment where you can build friendships, but it's not an environment where you can just talk to someone, you know? It's like you're sort of just interacting the same with everyone there because you're always moving. Best you can get to say hi is to say hi to one of your friends. It's like, um, with like a 15-second water break. But and you know, I'd say it's actually different in the colored belt classes. 'Cause these are black belt classes, and to my goodness, the black belt classes are a different level than the colored belt classes. So it's all just black belts in there. So clearly, we do pretty technical stuff in there. Some classes aren't as technical as others. This may sound lazy, but I think the thing I liked most about the colored belt classes is we have rotation of the curriculum that we learn, right? So if you've been doing karate for a year, then you'll find yourself in the same rotation as last year because it never changes. So let's say you're an advanced belt doing one kata or just learning one thing. In a year's time, you could be relearning the exact same thing, so it never changes. So it's not like anything's really too new, I guess. So if you get on top of it, like I guess I was in my later years of doing karate before black belt, it wasn't really too hard unless I went to black belt prep classes, which again was pretty tricky when I first did them, but then again they sort of got easier as time went on because it was just the same stuff over and over again. But you get to black belt classes, and you'll honestly be lucky if you know what's going on in there. For me, at least, I was because the first time I ever did that class, they're like, "Yep, let's jump into this." And I was like, what the heck is this?" So that's yeah. So it's definitely such a different environment than colored belt. We call it colored belt classes because they're not black belt classes, but yeah, it's such a different environment. Um, yeah, I do miss it. I've got so many experiences and stories from my time being at karate. Oh my, boy, that was actually the most slack tap anyone's ever done to me. Spencer, I'm gonna remember that, Spencer. Freaking, oh freak, I was turning the wrong way. Just trying to like look back at him. I guess we can look in front of him now. Okay, I think we've lost. This may be our worst time ever. Yep, it is. Unless we can build that pace back. No, yeah, no, game's gone. Or maybe not, actually, maybe not. They're all sort of clumped up there. Yeah, you like that, Big Spence? Yeah. Oh, he's still going. What a trooper. Anyway. Like, everyone's just trying to, it's probably because they all, like, want the jackpot for themselves. They're sick of this epic BMW driver taking home all the first places. And our cruisers are not giving up. Usually, and I'm not gonna lie, first and second place are, like, kinda matching each other. Yeah, okay, so here's the deal. I would actually be winning if I didn't mess up. Right now is right about when I usually finish. Well played, Chris, man. Well played. That was my fault. All on me. Yeah, so karate, very, very fun experience. And I encourage you, who's watching, do karate. Because I know it's like, sounds like could be this scary thing of what's this, what's that, I don't know anything. It's fun. At least when you, well, I'm not gonna say at least when you're first doing it, but if you just want to do something like just light, like 2 times a week, 2 45-minute sessions a week, sometimes more, if you can sacrifice that out of your week, then you can find lots of fun out of it. I sure did. Yeah, so as I was saying, my Japan trip, right, that was probably the most fun. Also, I didn't think about this, but I'm so disappointed, so I'm not going to be able to go back to Japan to compete. They do them every like 2-3 years or something like that, maybe longer, so could either be later, much later. No, I feel like it's probably next year. I feel like they'll have another one next year, but anyway. I feel like it also does sort of make sense because karate is a very, like, especially when you get to my level, a very time-consuming thing to do. So I know I just said, like, oh, spinning a bit. And I literally just said if you can sacrifice 2 45-minute sessions, it turns into more like 3 1-hour sessions when you, like 3 1-hour sessions minimum when you get to higher belt rank. Honestly, I'd say to grade to need on, you probably need to like 6 hours a week to get it like good. Like maybe 3 hours a week for if you just want to barely pass. 3 hours a week for a year. But anyway, man, that little glitch still annoys me. Little flicker, man. Right, I know it's stupid, but first thing I'm gonna do when I get the Ferrari Evo is I'm gonna run this race and see how much better I am than everyone else. Yes. Get out of here, Spencer. Anyway, waving in between lines. Yeah, I'd say karate is probably one of the biggest influences of my life. So the thing is, I'm not gonna lie, I've seen like a couple of people pop into the stream, but they just haven't said anything. But I'm assuming it's because, like, whenever I'm just getting into mid-rant, it just makes no sense. I feel like, now that I think about it, the only way someone can actually get a meaningful insight from any of these streams is if they... What just happened there? Is if they just watch, like, the full YouTube video when I post it to YouTube. Yeah, that's the only way. And like, I'm thinking for that to happen, it's at least gonna be like another 2-3 years before someone might actually click and watch this whole video. Roadkill, wait, DNF did not finish. That's the first one I've seen before. DNF. Wait. Okay, now I need to have a shower. And chat. Let's be real. Right, so, I know I talk a lot about God. So you'd think someone who does that must be really calm at times, but you know what? Sometimes I get really angry. I'm getting angry because, chat, like, I'm just trying to stream, man. And like, she called me down to have dinner. She had a lovely dinner made. That's lovely. Then she had me give my brother food, brought his plate down. Like, she had me make my brother his dinner twice and bring it up to him. Then she had me come and get tea towels, put them in the washing basket. And then apparently I missed one. So she had me go back downstairs, grab it, put it in the washing basket. And now she's having me, like, have a shower. Like, it's one of those things, chat. I don't hate showers. I just hate getting in them. So much effort. So annoying. Guess we gotta pause it a second time. Alright, chat. We're at almost 1500 though, so that's good. I'll be back in a jiffy. Wait, sorry. Be back in a jiffy. I terribly apologize for the, what was that, 40-minute wait. I like my showers, man. That was, a bit of an exceptionally long shower, I'm aware. I do apologize. Alright. Now, I feel like, in my opinion, the most annoying kinds of things about these streams is that, well, not really currently, but just in general, sort of, no one be watching them. You know what, that's okay. Because I'm having fun, like, I'm just getting that grind going, my boy. But, yeah. Little glitch is fun. Do slightly wish we had a better car though. As much as I like this $90,000 car, it's kinda buns. Oh, see, I just realized as well, I haven't even like used this car in like any actual race because it's just been the Ford, I believe. Yeah. So to be honest though, this car wouldn't even fare too badly, I feel like. So it's got a pretty nice top speed compared to my last car. The last car was like 220 or something. Like you were seeing 220 on this. Easily clear. No, I should try and get a Lightning McQueen car. I don't even know what sort of car that would be, but I want it. Could this be a best time? I don't think so. And it's not going to be anymore because Finn. 2, 5, 6, 7. I think that was the best time yet. 207. I think if we didn't hit that car, it could have been like a 207 to the closer 206. But honestly, though. See, 207, what a good time. 207.72. Alright, so we're at 1.5 million. I think we actually genuinely still need 700,000. Let me have a quick check. I think it's 2,200,000 and something. Oh wait, no, it's over 2 million, so that's still a lot of money. Right. Let's actually gonna go this way. Man, it feels great driving on the actual road. after doing the circuit so many times. Lovely. Oh, the dealership. Daddy's home. That's a bit weird. Okay, so this is the car we've been given. Whew. This is the car we've been working. No. What car have we been driving? Yeah, no, it is this one. I think it just looks a bit weird. Is it? I thought it was. Yeah, no, it is. It is. It just looks weird. It's this car we've been rocking. It's a 181. This is the car we want. Alright, okay, so it's 2.1. So that's not like the worst I've ever seen it. We're pretty close. 668,000 away? 668,000 away. I feel like that's not too bad, to be honest. I feel like I could get it done. Probably not by the end of this stream, but I'm gonna set it up from where I can definitely get it done on Thursday. Sorry, next Thursday, yeah. No, well, I was about to jump over that bit there, but you can't. You know, it is the same car, it just looks funny. Looks better as this black, I reckon. Alright. Why am I going so slow? I actually don't know. Oosh. Is this car like a full... Wait, if we look at the car here... This car isn't like a full road. I feel like if it was... it would do better. Oh well, I don't think we need to tweak it though. Alright, so chat. I think not last Saturday, but the Saturday before, so like 2 weeks ago. Yeah, something like 2 weeks ago. I was sitting on here and I was saying, yeah, I'm going to Bible verses. I haven't done that, and I know I need to be doing that. I'm not all talk, I promise. The reason I haven't done that yet is I actually don't know. I think I don't know. I actually haven't even got a good excuse or anything like that as to why I haven't done it yet. But yeah, I couldn't tell you. Thing is though, I've never really even done something quite like that before, because I see all these people on TikTok and they're so good whenever they like talk about like stuff about the Bible, stuff about God. I just feel like my stuff may not just hit the same, you know, because I'm new to it. But I guess that's the same with like even just this Twitch stuff and YouTube stuff. It's not going to be as good as the people who've already been doing it for a while and already know what they're doing. I've got minimal clue what I'm doing. Also, do we want to talk about that roadkill DNF? That's crazy. I didn't even know that could happen. How you that bad driver, you slam into the wall and cook yourself. Didn't even know that that was the thing. Couldn't have even told you that I knew that. So again, it's going to be a slightly slower time than my usual, not too far off there. Yes, he would finish right there. Couple seconds off. I don't know why it was slower there, maybe it was just the lines. A racing line, I guess. I don't know what money goal I want to hit for this stream. It's so sad it's only 22 grand per race. Yeah, that's a pretty close one. I'm thinking... I don't even know. Alright, I'll see how my team's going basketball, because I didn't show up. Do I feel bad? Yes. But I just couldn't go. They're not going to understand that either. When... Oh, wait. Hey, we're not doing too badly though, you know? Hey, my whole team's sort of popping off. It's a close game. It's 14-8. My goodness, they can do this. They 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 of their points, half their points are off free throws there. But hey, they're popping off. If they win without me, man. I believe in them though. Okay. Yes, I reckon 1.7, 1.8. We'll try and get to. Maybe, oh, actually, maybe we won't get to 1.8. 1.8 is still a while away. I reckon I want to try and get to 1.7. And that's a good bit because we started at 1.1, so that's 600k that one. 1.7, 2.1 is like 400,000. But to be fair, we have wasted about an hour of this stream. So... Anyway, no, the funny thing about these streams is that I'm not gonna say I've been in a dry spell or anything, because that's just I'm just like, what I'm experiencing is just how every single content creator or streamer or whatever starts out. But I was having some people chatting, and it was so fun to chat with you guys. But it's been like 3 weeks since I last either got a follow on anything or like a chat. It's been like a ghost town for me. Actually, yeah, I've gotten like likes and stuff, but I feel like that's slightly different though now. So yeah, that's hasn't crushed my spirits or anything. It's just, oh well, not really, but it is a bit sad though, you know. Right, I've got school, So maybe 1.7 we'll try and aim towards. Yeah, 1.7 feels like a good spot. I'm streaming Stardew Valley, which is going to be super fun. Yeah, the thing about this stream though is that obviously it's a stream where not tons is happening. Yeah, that's what you get, Spencer. You know, keep on moving back down. Whoa, whoa. Alright, honestly, I just got beef with Spencer, I'm not even gonna lie. Okay, ooh, Cleo's a bit ahead. Slow down, buddy. Slow down. At the very least, though, it is a bit of a mission trying to get in front of the people here. But, like, there's not much else I can do except for acceleration and a bit of turbo. A bit of nitrous energy. And I just cooked myself with hitting that one little dent. Yeah, that should have cooked him. And it didn't. Okay, if I lost all my speed, why am I going so slow? Wait, I'm actually so confused. I was seeing like 250. Here we go. Oh, Claire's there. Bye bye. Okay, we're getting it back, but why would we lose so much speed? It's fine. We've won. Oh, yeah, so I was just gonna say, like, the saddest part about this stream probably is that I'm not gonna clip it at all, so I'm not gonna post it, except for just like a YouTube video, because like, what is there to clip, to be honest? And then if I'm not clipping, what's the point of streaming? Because no one's watching, type thing. But yeah, close run. Close run. Music would make it a lot better, but PS5 makes that kind of tricky. Unless I just you know, just straight up start singing for you guys. But I used to be a better singer than I am now, so don't think you'd like that. But anyway, it doesn't really matter how it turns out, because I find it fun. So I guess since there isn't really too many people to be talking to, I might just do a couple of silent ones. Alright. Not a bad time, not a bad time at all. You know, I'm not gonna lie, I took way too long in that shower, so I might just get to 1.6. No, it's like a 600 one way. Anyway, if I don't tomfool around next Thursday, should be able to get it. And if not, 1,000,000% we'll have it the Thursday after. I should be able to get it next Thursday. Right, you know what I blame though? I think the reason 0 people have been watching me, honestly, because I was off for a week. And I feel like when people see that someone posts for like a month and they don't post for a full week, they probably think, yeah, he's just quit. Another guy that's just streamed for a month, was trying to be genuine, then he just quit. Nah man, I'm only just beginning. Anyway, but yeah, I didn't really want to even be off for a week. It's just because my throat was actually frying me. Like, that was the worst my throat has ever been in my entire life. Unfortunately. I did make it through, but it was rough. What? 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 Did you all say that? I hit nothing. And that is one, because I got the worst time ever now. Oh. Yeah, so let's look at the seconds difference between, alright, so I would have finished before then. It set me back a whole 1, 2, 3. It set me back about that long. Okay, I know if you hit the edge, it does that, but I was still away from the edge and poof! Like, bro, what is that? Now it's boondoggling me. You see, yeah, I lost 2k. I'm mad now. Yeah, see, they got 209, that was a quick time, but I do think if I didn't mess up, I will hit that. Alright, we're going to maybe one more. Alright, I know I've been sort of slack with my praying, so after this after this race, I'm gonna pray. I can clip that. That's always so fun to clip. Alright, last one. I need to brainstorm what I can pray about. You know what my hopes are for this Twitch channel? I think I've just like said what I want it to be about before. Obviously it's about, you know, Christian stuff and talking about God and stuff. But one really cool thing that I have like almost a vision of this channel is that someday someone can be like talking in chat and they can just say, "Hey Elliot," like not something elaborate like this is going on and this and that, so I don't expect that ever, but just something like, "Hey Elliot, can you please pray for me?" And the cool thing about that is that I don't even need to be I guess what you would call famous, or well, not famous, but I don't even need to have many people follow me. If that's happened, I could do it right now. If someone popped in, man, that would just be the dream. Like it's because I think within me as a person, I love to make an impact on others, like a lasting impact. But beyond just making an impact, I think for me to make an impact in a Christian way, I think it just means so much more to me. I think I've got a bit of an idea of what I'll pray about. Don't make it too long, because, you know, people have short attention spans, and, you know, but, yeah, I think, low-key, when it's a stream like this and no one's been chatting with me, as far as all the gameplay is, the best part of my streams, like, my most favourite parts, are definitely praying. And the streams that I don't pray, it's either I just, forget or am rushed. Yeah, like I said, I'm gonna try and get those TikToks going up of me praying, because I think those are also super powerful to do. When will happen? Probably this weekend I'll make one. Maybe tomorrow, but we'll see. Alright, that is the last lap. Alright.
Come in. Relax. Find yourself a quiet spot.
Alright, there's the end of the stream. And now it's time for my favourite part of the stream. It is time for a prayer. So those who are watching, hope that you can please join me in this prayer. Alright. Heavenly Father, I want to pray over whoever's watching this. I pray that they can know that you're with them throughout their struggles, throughout their pain, even though they don't share it with others, even if they keep it secretive. I pray that you can let them know that you're always there to help them through their struggles. I pray that you can comfort people who don't know who to turn to. I pray that you can let your light shine upon others. I want to pray that whoever's watching this has an amazing day, that they know that you love them. In Jesus' heavenly name we pray. Amen. Alright. Well, thank you for that, and I'll see you on the next one. Ciao.